What is up, boys and girls? Welcome to another episode of Chicken Bone Alley, brought to you by SRI Performance, Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, RK Motorsports Consulting, and Earl Raimi Racing Engines. What is up? I'm David.
I'm Melissa.
And Sterling's not here. It's so odd. Sterling had to work tonight. He's probably got to work all week, actually. So I was just telling Melissa that it's odd because every episode we've done so far, Sterling has been sitting right across the table from me, and not tonight. So we got Melissa on here. What's up? What you been up to?
Not much, just living a dream, getting the camper ready for some racing coming up.
Yoo-hoo.
And just got off work myself.
Yeah, me too.
In the door.
Me too. We getting some good rain off of a tropical storm down this way. I think it's Fred or something like that. I don't know. Typical for us. We love stuff like that. But y'all got, you say you're getting the camper ready. Y'all got you got a few days racing coming up next week, don't you? I know we'll get into it a little bit later here, but what all you having to get ready?
Well, I mean, this week is got some surprise visits, I guess.
There you go.
We'll see where I end up, but next week, I guess Port Royal.
There you go.
It looks like so. I guess, but I don't think I'm heading down until Thursday. I mean, it starts Thursday, but usually I try to go a day or two early. But I'm gonna head down on Thursday, work a half a day, and head up there.
I guess
or down. I don't even know. I guess sideways. I don't even
somewhere over there.
Somewhere in Pennsylvania.
So what goes into getting the camper ready?
Well, I just got it. I don't know, about a month and a half ago or 2 months ago, I guess now. So I haven't done everything I wanted to get done to it. I just kind of got it ready to use it a little bit. But yesterday, I power washed the whole outside and I fixed all the lights on everything except for the one that got broken today.
Dang.
But I replaced all the bulbs that were missing and stuff like that I didn't do previously, and did the blinds and the windows and just the junk I didn't do yet.
There you go.
And now I got to stock it up, I guess.
Get all the foods.
All the foods and the drinks.
There you go. Can't have a good weekend without all that. Well, good deal. How's work been? Do you ever get any crazy clients up there?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Really? Well,
I mean, yeah.
What kind of crazy are we talking? I mean, is it are they mad at you because something you did to their hair, or is they're just crazy in general?
I think just crazy in general. I've had a bunch of different types of people, I guess. It's weird. I don't even know how to explain it, but I've had a guy one time, he came in for haircut, quickest haircut ever, 5 minute, just straight buzz, whatever. And go out, because I knew another client come in and I was cutting him. Once I finished him, the guy came back in. So he sat in the parking lot until I was done. My next client come, ask me on a date. And I'm sorry, I'm, I have a boyfriend, And he got mad about it.
How do you get mad about that?
I don't know. He got I'm trying to think what he said. He was fighting words. He was like, "How big is he? Is he as big as me?"
Wow.
Yeah, just weird stuff.
That's crazy. That's funny.
But I had some I guess maybe some stalkerish crazy, and then I've had just some crazy people that, think people are talking, just I don't know. I'm trying to think people are talking to them or think that people are hearing, listening to them,
Oh, yeah.
Stuff like that. You hear a lot of weird stories and, just take it as it goes.
Is your place like every hair place that's down here anyway? And if you need to know anything that's going on in town, just go there because somebody there knows it?
No.
Okay, well, ours is terrible. If you want to know anything about anybody down here, go to a hair salon. Everybody knows everything. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's the most gossip I've ever heard in my life.
I'm sure. I mean, at my old salon, it was a little bit like that because you would have like exes come in and it kind of gets weird. But I'm like small salon, so it's like easy. I don't have to deal with all that drama.
There you go. I don't blame you. I can't deal with all that myself. Well, cool. All right. Well, let's see, Tuesday night, we had the second round of the iRacing Chicken Bone Alley Summer Shootout. And pretty cool little show we had on there, actually. I broadcasted this one. Because Soak Tires Broadcasting wasn't available. So I broadcasted this one. Probably was not the best broadcaster in the world by no means. But and Melissa was on there on the feed trying to get some fan interaction. It was a tough crowd, wasn't it?
It was. I guess people watch it more after it's over.
I guess. I don't know. Maybe so. I think just everybody that races in it goes back and watches it and then sends it to everybody. Like, oh, I was racing in this. I was like, oh, cool. But anyway, we had a really good race, the 358 Modifieds at Cedar Lake. And did you watch it, Melissa?
Yeah, I did. I was watching it the whole time.
What did you think about it?
That was pretty cool. I mean, it's what we race up here, so I mean, that was cool.
For iRacing anyway, to me, it put on some pretty good racing. It was a real close battle for the lead pretty much the whole race, especially battles for second, third, and on back for sure. But our buddy John Ruggiero Jr. come out on top, and so let's go see if we can get him on the line. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got John Ruggiero Jr. here on the line with us now. Man, you took us to school last week on iRacing, buddy. You kind of smoked the field on us. You did what I thought you was going to do on dirt. I told Sterling, I told everybody, I said, John's going to be tough when it comes to the dirt stuff, and you really proved it, man. But it was a tough race for you.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that we whooped up on them, but we certainly had a good run. I've been playing iRacing for about 2 years now, primarily everything on dirt. So I certainly had a high level of confidence going into that race, and it wasn't very easy. Obviously, Zach Stroop was very fast. I feel really bad right now because I can't think of the other kid's name. Do you know who finished second?
Cole DeMint.
Yep, Cole DeMint. He was extremely fast, and he definitely kept me on my toes. It was a lot of fun, long race, but thankfully we didn't have too many cautions, so we were able to get stretched out there and get in a rhythm. And, fortunately we brought it home. So that win definitely helped with the points because, I don't feel very confident with the asphalt races, but if I can run well in the dirt stuff, I do believe I'll have a shot at it.
I hear you, man. Well, in that race, Will Harrington, he was also there. I think he ended up finishing third. And that's you two both, y'all drive some real cars in real life. So does that at all translate to iRacing at all, or is it completely different, or is there some things that transfer and just some things that don't?
So I certainly get asked that question a lot, and I do want to give iRacing all the credit in the world because they've nailed it. It's not exact, but a lot of your throttle inputs translate. I don't believe that the brake pedal translates at all, but as far as throttle, it certainly does. And like that feature last weekend on iRacing, it got pretty slick and pretty used up. So you definitely had to use a lot of throttle control, just like you do in a real car. So the handling aspect of things is close. You don't have the real feel, sitting in the actual seat and feeling the car roll over and, the body roll and all. But yeah, I mean, everything does translate fairly well. So I do feel like for instance, Harrington, he finished third, and I fully expected him to run well because of his background in racing. So it is cool how close it is. But then again, I don't want people to think that it is exact, because it isn't. But it's close.
Well, good, because that makes me not feel as bad about getting outrun so bad all the time.
Well,
no, that's cool, man. I'm glad that it makes me feel good, actually, that somebody that has experience in a car can come on there and run good, because they should. They should. That makes me feel good that iRacing is in a better spot than honestly what it used to be, because I've been on it myself for 10 years, 11 years actually, and it has come a long way in that time. So especially since they even started dirt. When they first started dirt, oh god, cars were horrible. They've come a long way. So that's awesome. So this week we just drew it. I put a video out. We got ARCA cars at New Hampshire. A little bit bigger track, 1 mile track with the ARCA cars on the asphalt. Man, what you thinking about that?
So whenever we ran the first race of the season, which was the late model stocks at New Smyrna, that was actually my first ever full race on asphalt racing. I have practiced with some buddies, but I've never ran a race. So whenever I finished second in that race, I was quite, surprised. Now, I will admit, I was running a ARCA car the middle of last week, and I was horrible, spinning out every lap and tearing up a lot of equipment. Racing has a reset button, because if it was a real car, I'd be in trouble. But I do know tonight I'm going to spend a lot of time just learning the braking points, because one thing I found, like in the dirt car, I don't ever use the brake. I mean, let me reword that. If I do, it's literally just to stop from hitting somebody.
Right.
But I don't ever use the brake pedal while on track. Where the asphalt cars, I relied on the brake pedal tremendously in that late model stock, and I do know that this ARCA car is going to be the same way. So I don't want to tell you that I'm confident going into it. I also don't want to sound like I'm beat before I get started. So I do believe with a little bit of practice, my goal tomorrow will be just to finish. As long as I can finish the race, I believe that I'll be okay. And like I said, I'm relying on the dirt stuff more than anything. So I fully expect these boys to whoop my butt tomorrow. But that's just a part of it. I don't have the experience. So.
Well, I will say, for whatever reason, we got let's see, there's Aaron on there who won the first week. He probably has more experience on asphalt than anybody on there. It seems like everybody on there is kind of a bunch of dirt guys for the most part. So it tends to make a pretty good race, because nobody's a whole lot better than anybody on there. So I guess we'll see on that. That's I know when I have run ARCA cars at New Hampshire, I have to remind myself to roll the center of the corner, because I would really want to pick up throttle, and that's when I end up spinning out. So if that helps anything, even though you'll probably kill me in it, I roll the center of the corner a lot, just to make sure I don't kill myself in it.
Any bit of advice is going to help me, so I'm certainly going to keep that in the back of my mind as I'm practicing tonight. Beef tips, I already texted him and told him that I'm going to need some laps tonight, so hopefully I can get on there and learn something from him. I know he's pretty stout in the asphalt side of things.
Yeah.
And we'll see. Like I said, I'm not very confident, because the few laps I made last week, I was spinning out and wrecking, and it wasn't good.
We'll just tell Beef Tips, don't spin out going down the straightaway this week like you did last week. We'll be good.
I'll make sure I remind him.
He did good, though. He came back up. He came all the way back up to fourth, I think it was. So he did good. So.
He did really well. I tried helping him a little bit. The night of the race, I kind of walked him through a few things and tried to explain the driving line and where he needed to be on the track. And I do believe it helped him a little bit, because, like you said, he drove back to fourth and had a really strong run.
He really did. So that was good. Well, cool, man. Well, moving on from that, more important things in life, you like we said, if people don't know, you actually drive a crate late model in real life. So and you had another win this past week, man. Congratulations.
Well, I really appreciate that. In real life, I have a 604 and the 602 crate late model. And, I'm very thankful for the opportunity that my parents have given me and, driving both of those cars. And, yeah, like you said, I mean, every racetrack that I know of in this area got rained out. So I was very fortunate to be able to race at Harris Speedway this weekend, and obviously fortunate as well to win the race. They don't come easy. So every time you get one, you certainly take it and, move on. But, yeah, things have gone well this year. We've won about 10 races. I don't know how many we've started, but, I'm just hoping we carry the momentum throughout the rest of the season, because there's obviously a lot of big races coming up, and I don't want to fall off now.
For sure, man. Well, tell us about this week. How did the race go?
Well, like I said, everything got rained out, so we were keeping an eye on Harris, and we knew that they had posted that they were still racing. So we got the 602 car ready, headed to the track, and to be honest with you, we got there and it was raining. And I was like, well, sure enough, we'll be heading home. But, it ended up, it lightened up and turned into a sprinkle, and they had the drivers meeting a little later than they wanted, but we had the drivers meeting, and they told us, no hot laps. Basically, it was hot lap qualifying and straight to feature. So we knew we had to unload well, and fortunately, we unloaded, and in qualifying, we were able to set fast time, and I think it was like 12 cars there. So I was, very happy with that. And then at the start of the race, I was able to get out front early and maintain throughout the feature, and that ultimately was able to get it done. So always a good weekend whenever you can kind of sit on cruise control and be out front, but they don't always come that easy. So like I said, I'll move on and be very happy with the weekend we had.
Good deal, buddy. Well, for the people who don't know out there, tell them about your ride. Tell them about your car, what kind of car you run, all that, all the chassis and everything.
So my 602 late model is both of my late models are Longhorn chassis. My 602 late model just has a GM, 602 crate motor. My 604 late model has a Earl Raimi built 604 motor. He does an awesome job. I know he obviously supports the iRacing event that we're having this season. So I want to thank him for that. And I also want to thank him for building such a great motor for everybody that he builds motors for. And yeah, I mean, it's just all family-owned stuff. Thankfully, my parents, like I said, blessed me with the opportunity to own 2 cars and drive 2 cars. So, yeah, I'm not very good with explaining stuff like this. But,
no, you're good, buddy.
But yeah.
John, how old are you?
I'm 23 years old.
Really? Wow. Okay. When did you start racing? I don't know.
You're good. I started racing quarter midgets when I was 9, and we ran those for 3 years following the USAC tour. And then whenever I was 12, we kind of got to the point where it was time to move up, but we didn't know what to move up to. And my family, like my father and everybody, they always race asphalt stuff, but I just actually I'll explain to you. We had the very last USAC race of the year was at Eldora Speedway, and Tony built a little go-kart track for us to race on. And dude, we went up there, and we didn't run very well. I think we finished 5th in the feature that weekend, but we got home and we started selling everything for the quarter midgets. And I told my dad, I was like, that was the most fun I've ever had in a car. And he was like, dirt? And I'm like, yep. I said, I love it. So anyway, we started looking at, dirt cars and all, and we're like, well, we'll go look at the racetracks in this area. So we went to Carolina Speedway, Cherokee Speedway, Lawndale, which is now shut down. But we started looking around, and we noticed just how many tracks there were, and it's like, man, it's kind of a no-brainer to go dirt racing. And we wound up finding a really good deal on a late model, which for a 12-year-old is pretty big car, but we knew it was going to take time to adjust to anyway. So from the time I was 13, I finally got to race it, and from 13 to now, I've been racing crate late models.
Wow.
So
it's been a very long, hard road, though, I do want to say. I'm fortunate to be able to run as competitive as we are now, but like I said, it took us a very long time to get where we are, and yeah, it wasn't easy.
So at 23, you'd be definitely one of the veterans out on the track now, as long as you've been racing a late model, man.
Well, that's what's so funny, because I get a lot of guys who are 20, 21 or something. Some of the kids, as I would say, I know I'm a kid as well, but some of the kids that are starting to race late models, and, you know, they come and talk to me about stuff, and once they find out I've been doing it for 10 years, you can tell just how shocked they are. And I'm like, yeah, like, trust me, it's been a while. And that's why I try telling everybody, like, you know, it's not going to happen overnight. You know, there's a lot of people that come in and they're extremely competitive off the bat, but they might not be winning as many races as they want. And I just try to remind them, like, it ain't easy. I mean, it took us years to get competitive and start winning races. And, you know, fortunately, there are younger people that are getting involved in it now, which I love to see. And I just try to remind them each week, like, hey, if you ain't winning now, just, you know, it's going to come. You just got to be patient and obviously put in the time that everybody else has. Because I race with guys that have been doing it a lot longer than I have, and I feel like I've been doing it for a while. So it's fun, but it is at times very grueling and makes you wonder why you do it each week.
I'm telling you, man. I was like, and I like the way you do it too, man. I see you over there. Y'all have an open trailer, man. Just come to the track with the car ready to ride.
Yeah, that open trailer actually has been probably one of the nicest things we've gotten in a while. I mean, I have an enclosed trailer. You know, I don't want people to think that, you know, I don't want to seem like, oh, we're down and we ain't got no trailers on. But yeah, like that open trailer, I ain't gonna lie to you, man, it's probably one of the nicest things we have because at the end of the night, you load that sucker up and it don't take you but 2 minutes. Where with the enclosed, you're struggling, you gotta, you know, pull it in slow. All right, turn the wheel this way, turn the wheel that way, and it's just me and my dad who go to the track each week. So for two people, that open trailer is easily the nicest thing we've got because it makes life so much easier.
Hey, when there's one less thing to worry about, then you can focus on a lot more things. So that's
exactly right.
that makes a lot of sense, man. So. Well, cool, man. Well, it's been awesome having you on here, and we definitely going to have to get you back on here talking about some more wins here soon, I bet.
Well, I certainly hope you're right. Like I said, we're going to keep doing the best we can on and off the track and making sure we're able to show up and be competitive. And then obviously with the iRacing thing, I'm going to do my job, try to practice as much as I can and make sure that, you know, I run well on all forms of tracks, whether it be asphalt or dirt. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the season, and hopefully I can continue what we got going.
There you go. Well, how about y'all slow down a little bit just so I can keep up with y'all?
Hey, I can tell you right now, tomorrow you're probably going to show me how to get around that joint.
I doubt that. I don't ever run enough to do anything. I decided I was going to run this year, this season, because I broadcast the last season we did, and I decided to do this one, and then all of a sudden everybody that's really, really, which I mean we had some really good guys in the first one, but now the really, really good guys are running this one. I'm like, oh man, this is really making me look bad and feel bad. So,
well, if anything, it'll make you want to practice more.
I guess if only I had time to practice more, I'd be all right.
I understand.
Oh, well, good deal, man. Well, we will definitely see you Tuesday night, 8:00 at Arca Cars in New Hampshire in the Chicken Bone Alley Summer Shootout, man. And good luck to you, and we'll be talking with you, man.
Yes, sir. Like I said, thank you. Do want to also thank you guys for putting that deal together. It's an awesome, little summer shootout we got, and I look forward to the rest of the season.
We appreciate it, man.
Right.
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Yes, sir. Bye.
Another thank you to John Ruggiero Jr. for coming on, hanging out with us for a while tonight, coming off his win in iRacing last week and his win at Harris Speedway on Saturday. Boys, pretty good. But for the iRacing deal with Chicken Bone Alley Summer Shootout, I want to stop a minute and thank our sponsors for helping us put this on. Well, they're basically putting it on. We put our name on it, basically, and threw it out there and kind of organized it. But other than that, it is our sponsors that made this happen. It is EMFR Performance. Y'all heard it from John Ruggiero right there, Earl Raimi. Couldn't do it without him or Carl over at Grease Monkey Mooresville. Them guys putting up some big money for the guys to win here. $1,000 to win this series. And who would have ever thought? Melissa, did you ever think that you could sit on a game? I guess you say a lot of people, I shouldn't have said that because a lot of people don't like me calling iRacing a game. But sit on a
simulator.
We'll call it a simulator. Sit on a simulation and win money and good money. I mean, does anybody ever think you could really do that? That'd have been crazy, 15 years ago.
I could never picture that, but I mean, I guess people do that every day for their job, and I don't know how, but I mean, whatever.
Hey,
But that's pretty cool. It's like it's more competition at home
if I could,
between friends, because most of these guys are, they're crew members or just spectators or actual drivers and drivers of different classes all competing together. So it's kind of unique and different to see.
it's one of the things, I guess, where racers will be racers all the time. They can't just race on the weekend. Now we got to race all week long too.
Yeah.
So, can't stop. But yeah, like I said, EMFR Performance, Earl Raimi, Carl over there with Grease Monkey, Mooresville. Man, we could not do it without those guys. We really appreciate them. I talked to Earl before we started the show tonight, and he's excited about it. He likes it, loves watching it. Y'all heard John Ruggiero there talking about Earl. His 604 crate is Earl Raimi racing engine. Earl goes 110% of everything he does. So he loves racing, gives back to the sport as much as he can, and we appreciate them because, like I said, we definitely could not do it without them. Also want to thank Palmetto Machine and Fabrication. Thanks, Sterling. Oh, wait, he ain't over there. You're welcome. I sound like him. There it was. But
that was good.
That was good. But anyway, also Northeast Auto Imports, our buddy Derek Griffith, and y'all will see him this when's the 20th is Friday? Thursday. Let's see.
The 20th is Friday.
Friday, yep. On the 20th, our buddy Derek Griffith, y'all will see him in a KBM, that is Kyle Busch Motorsports truck, at Gateway or Worldwide, whatever that thing's called now. But anyway, he will be making his NASCAR Truck Series debut. I'm going to have to talk to him. Going to try to get him on here next week and talk about it. So, but anyway, Northeast Auto Imports, that is Derek's business. He imports all these. Hey, have you ever looked at that, Melissa? He's on our website, or on our Facebook page and everything. We try to share some of his stuff. He's got some of the coolest vehicles out there. I mean, they're all typically imported from Japan, and most of them are right-hand drive, and he comes up with these cool Toyota campers and all this stuff. It's insane.
Have you ever been in the right-hand vehicle?
I rode in one in the Bahamas, and I thought I was going to die. But other than that, no. I think I was in a mail Jeep one time. So that was about the closest thing I had. How about you?
Yeah, my dad owned 2 English taxis.
Wow.
Back in the day, yeah. So they were pretty cool. But it's weird.
Yeah, it's different. I feel like as long as I'm over here, in the United States, driving on the right-hand side of the road, I know it's right-hand drive, but I feel like I could get somewhat used to it. When I'm riding around, like I said, I was in the Bahamas, and I took a taxi somewhere. Actually, I went to a bowling alley, which is really weird. But anyway, being on the right-hand side of the car, which I wasn't on, I was just riding in it, but it was odd watching him. And we're making a right-hand turn is turning across traffic, which does not compute in my mind. So I do not need to be in a right-hand drive vehicle. I think I'll just walk. But yeah, we want to thank him for coming on this season with our iRacing deal. Putting some money up for you guys too. Also, Blood Eagle Racing Podcast. If y'all haven't listened to them, make sure you go listen to them. If y'all like Chicken Bone Alley, you'll like Blood Eagle Racing Podcast. They talk about a lot of racing. You got Tyler and Kale on there. Tyler being from Pennsylvania, running the 4-cylinder cars there, and Kale being from Ohio, driving some legend cars over there. So go check out the Blood Eagle Racing Podcast. Y'all will enjoy it. Also, SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel, as always, coming on helping us out some. and BS Racing. Our buddies Matt and William up there. They're in Ohio too, riding a quad on the GNCC tour. We appreciate them coming on and hanging out with us and sponsoring the series and racing series with us. And I saw where William, our buddy William Eads, he got engaged today. So congratulations to him while I'm at it.
Oh, congratulations.
And I think that's it. I think I mentioned everybody. I hope I didn't. So, yeah. So we appreciate them. Y'all come check us out on Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, Soak Tires Broadcasting. We'll have the rest of the broadcast for the rest of the season, this season. So y'all come check it out. And but while I'm on it, I want to talk real quick about Earl Raimi racing engines, since we were just talking with John Ruggiero about that. Earl, I'm gonna tell you, I want to tell a quick story. This past weekend, I decided to go over to Lakeview Speedway, and they had the Fuel I-95 Series limited late model race, and our buddy Willie Milliken was over there running. So I told him I was going to ride over there and check him out and all that good jazz. Put a camera on his car, which I've got to finish up the video on it because there were so many cautions in it. It's taking me a while to edit out the cautions. But Earl, they've been talking about it for years. It's been so funny because Earl and Willie, every time we talk, been around each other for years. Man, you need to get me a motor together. All right, well, we need to do that. And blah, blah, blah. Keep talking. Well, it finally came up. Earl put together a limited late model motor for Willie Milliken. And this is just a good story, I guess you'll say, for Earl, because Willie come off the track after the race, and he ended up finishing third. Started fifth, finished third, fighting a little bit of handling issues early on in the day, but the car it came around and was getting better and needed just a little bit more in the same direction they went, and I think he could have had a race winning car. If he would have got out front, I actually think he could have won anyway. But I was speaking of them cautions. Well, they had a lot of restarts. Well, they warned Willie a couple times about restarts, and Willie actually never jumped the start. You could see it. The leader hit the gas first, and then Willie started second or third a lot of times. And I saw him like 4 times. He beat the leader, or was right beside him, to the flag stand, and the leader just hit the gas coming out forward, and Willie did not jump. He come in, he said that motor takes off harder than any motor I've ever had in my life. So that's pretty good, pretty stout for the Earl Raimi racing engine there. So
that's awesome. Get yourself some motors out there.
I'm telling you. So if anybody is in the market for a racing engine of any sort. And also, I don't know if y'all seen it or not, at the North-South, our buddy that was on here the other week, James Rice, he had his Earl Raimi racing engine in that car. He ran good in his heat race in I'm trying to remember, it was another race they was in, the feature to make it to the race, to the main. I can't remember. They had so many races to lock you into the main over there. But anyway, he had a plug wire come off, and they didn't know what it was, so he did the smart thing and came off track, not knowing that was only a plug wire. He would just kept going. But anyway, so he ended up having to run the B. Didn't quite make it up there in the B, but he said, and you could see it, that thing was stout. And that was Earl Raimi racing engine in that car. That thing was stout. He was rolling. He ended up running the non-qualifier race, finished second in the non-qualifier race. So I really think he would have had a car to fight for a good top 10 in the North-South. There was just other circumstances around that, and that's the crazy thing in dirt racing, I think, sometimes. It's not always you know your car. It's just all the circumstances around it trying to get to the front. So,
Yeah,
oh, go ahead.
I was mad I couldn't watch that.
Yeah, me too. I saw some highlights from it, but I couldn't watch it either. But anyway, so guys, if you need you a good good stout motor nowadays, as we say every week, go check out Earl Raimi Racing Engines. Supers, limiteds, crates, as y'all just heard, anything. It don't matter. He'll build one of y'all's big block modifieds up there, up north. So he don't care. He's been in them before. So and also whenever you get some time after you get that motor in there, get some time on Earl's chassis dyno. I can tell you a lot of things about your car where you're making and losing horsepower throughout your everything else on the car. When you're talking about fans, you're talking about different fuels, different carburetors. You can try all that out before you get to the track and know what's going to be best. So give Earl Raimi Racing Engines a call, and he will hook you up. So anyway, let's see what we got next here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got another guest on the line this week. Mr. Chad Jeseo, what is going on, buddy?
Not much, guys. Just finished up with our weekend affairs here, and now we're just getting saddled up and getting ready to go down to Orange County for Thursday night with the Supers.
There you go, man. You going to hang out there and check it out?
Definitely. I think we have a 30-lap feature down there. We're kind of like the support class for the the late models there that night, and kind of close to home, so it's kind of nice. And we don't get to see the super late models too often up this way.
Good
but
deal.
this is one of the tracks they're going to supposedly start hitting, so we just got to be the support class. So, like I said, fair for once, fair for all, right?
Good deal. Good deal. Well, you say your sport class. You're running the Pro Stock class, correct?
Yeah, we run the Northeast Dirt Pro Stocks. They kind of look like NASCARs on dirt. A lot of leaf cars. Now there's a lot of coil cars starting to invade the class. Starting to go to like, I think they're running 4 links in the coil cars. See, I have a leaf car still. But you can definitely tell the difference. Like, they're starting to like mutate into our division now.
There you go. Oh, I hear you there. Well, we'll get into that, but I want to go back. We like to go back with everybody that comes on our show for the first time. We like to go back and kind of go through your career, where you started at, and all that stuff. So, if you will, sir, if you will just basically introduce yourself and give us where you started at and how you come up through the ranks.
Yeah. I actually started racing when I was like 20-ish. Started with the Pro Stock division at Lebanon Valley Speedway. Won the championship in 11 and 12 there, also at Malta in 12. Then 13, actually, the car owner decided to move up and offered me the ride there, Scott Hamlin. And I drove a small block modified for 2013 and 14. And then 2015, we had some success in 13 and 14 where he wanted to go big blocks. And that's where I moved right in there. And I ran big blocks for probably 5 years. And then, like I said, just time, everything takes toll of it. Life takes over. A lot of hard work, dedication goes into running modified big blocks, and just time. So, like I said, now we get to spend a little more time with the family and stuff and get stuff done. But I moved back to Pro Stocks in 2019, I believe, and still there. And I love everything about the class. It's good racing, side by side all the time. Yeah, I think everyone that sees the race always says usually it's the best race of the night. So that's what I had a choice to go back to anything, like small blocks, the crate sportsmans, or even the Pro Stocks. So I just chose to go back to Pro Stocks. It's what we knew. And like I said, just kind of sitting there in the pond, hanging out.
There you go. Well, do something for me, if you will, please. Explain, because us here down south, we don't have a what y'all call a Pro Stock class. What is a Pro Stock car? Is that a purpose-built chassis, or is that a stock type chassis? What kind of cars are those?
Yeah, they're 2x4 front to rear, left side drive. Basically, it looks like a NASCAR. It really does. Leaf springs in the back, but like I said earlier, the coil cars are starting to bring the 4 links into this, and they're really starting to make a lot of gains with them. And I don't really know. I just think I think people like it so much because it's really easy to like just you put it with NASCAR kind of because they look exactly like the NASCAR cars. So it's the same body, the 5-star bodies, the late model bodies. And you get like I said, you can rub as much as you want. Like I said, with the full fender division, it's basically our top full fender division up here in the Northeast. I know down south you guys run them pure stocks, and out west they run the pure stocks. I think they're called stock cars. I don't even know. They look like they're the old Monties, the street stock.
Yeah, street stocks. That's basically what we call them most of the time.
Yeah, street stock. Them guys, like I said, they put on an awesome show. Same thing up here. Everyone's got a 602 crate motor in them. We all have basically a 4 9-inch quick change, or quick change, one or the other, on a Hoosier 10-inch tire. It's a good class.
That's cool, man. And I always like personally, I always like a good crate class. It seems like a good class for every type of car. I don't know what it is. It works good in like I said, down here, street stocks, up there, pro stocks, modifieds. It tends to be a good motor and work good and put on good racing. So that's good to know. But man, you've done some winning this year with that thing.
Yeah, no, I was actually just on the phone with Randy from SRI getting some brakes and stuff. And he actually just sent me the stats for this year so far. And we had 29 starts. We had 29 top 10s, 26 top 5s with 10 wins. We've really been on top of the mountain here with everything going on. But all in all, like I said, it is a very close class. Like I said, for the most part, you see how the crates go. It's really hard to be a standout in a crate division when everyone's on the same playing field. I mean, I used to race big blocks with Brett Hearn, Kenny Tremont. When you all had 900 horsepower and someone's got 860, you spin the tires once, they can make you look foolish in a hurry. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Where the crate car, you can mess up a little bit and still not lose your ass, I guess.
Right.
So it's like, it's really hard to get an advantage. It's all about realistic. I say it every time we hit the track. We don't lift, we turn. And big risk gives you big rewards, really, at the end of the day.
There you go.
Well, Melissa, you probably know that, right? Big
Yep.
risk, big rewards. We don't lift, we turn. We got a great thing.
Melissa knows all about it.
That's it.
Especially if you're running the top at Bridgeport, you don't lift. We definitely don't lift. Not in the crate. You got to keep the momentum.
That's it. I said to a buddy one time, we all got in an accident. He drove right around the outside of everyone. I said, dude, you never did lift. He says, you know we don't lift, we turn. It was funny because you really do. When you're in a crate class, it's all about momentum, and it doesn't matter from a crate sportsman to a street stock down south to a pro stock up here in the north. When everyone's on the same motor package, and it's difficult. It really is. I mean, we just came out of 2 weeks ago. We won Albany Saratoga there Friday night. Then we went to the Valley on Saturday night for the 30 lap that Jimmy Langenbach race. It's a memorial race for the guy, and I actually got my motor pulled Saturday night to go down to Tech. The track confiscated it, and the track took it down and ran all the tests and procedures on it. We just got it back that following Monday to put back in the car. And we went racing again Friday, Saturday, and here we are sitting here on Monday getting ready for Thursday.
There you go. So I'm assuming everything was good to go on the motor.
Yeah, it was all good. Actually, a little down on power. Actually, they were teasing me in the tech thing there because they sent me the dyno sheet after I got off the house dyno that they dyno all the crates on that's supposed to be there, and they told me they're going to post the dyno sheet. So they got posted, and like I said, you stand there with your pants down, but everyone knows what I got now.
There you go. Now you're going to have everybody putting restrictor plates on it.
That's it, definitely. No, and actually, believe it or not, I mean, I can't say enough about these crate motors because, I don't know, Melissa, you drive one too. I have honestly, myself, I've never had a problem with one of them. Also, I've never touched one of them. But my motor right now, I've got 40 races on it, and it was within 4 horsepower of what it dynoed at.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I blew up one, but I also wrecked really bad a couple weeks prior, and then I didn't race for like 2 weeks, and I put the motor in my dad's car and I took it out and I blew it up like 2 weeks after that. I hit the wall straight like 100 miles an hour straight on. So I mean, motor plate was bent out an inch or two, so I'm sure it messed up the inside of the motor.
You probably lost the end plate in the crank, babe.
There's always that one overachiever in the crowd.
You know, I think we've all done an engine plate before.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Well, like you said, man, 10 wins on the season, 29 starts and 29 top 10s. I got the points pulled up right here. Dude, you're like so far ahead of everybody. It's ridiculous on these stats. I think I got the same sheet that Randy sent you. Man, 10 wins. No. I mean, it's insane. That's insane numbers.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, like I said, the level of competition, it's not like it's not there. I mean, we've had guys that run this class, and I mean, it's like anywhere like down there. You got your hometown guys, your home track guys that run the same track. So when you get out and you start running like the series and stuff like that, you can still win on the road. All roads meet for us for the dirt series. The dirt series starts, I believe, in like 3 weeks. Not even really sure. But there's like 10 events on the schedule, and we all kind of corral ourselves to run that series. That's what we really want more than anything, is to win the dirt series. The stats you see there, that's just leading up to the start of the series. Basically, it's everyone's home track races. Who's got wins there? And I mean, like I said, there's still a lot of top guys that I remember in 2012. I raced Rob Yetman, and he was the big cat. He was the guy to beat forever. And over the past 2 years, you watch guys who dominate struggle, and you kind of don't know why or what's going on, but kind of just focus on your own program, and that's what we've really been doing. And we've been trying stuff now with the points lead that we had. We've had the opportunity to get out there and really try some stuff that we wanted to try, because, like I said earlier, the coil cars are starting to come in. Now it's like we run a leaf spring on the rear, one of the Chrysler Leafs there. Now you got the guy with the 4 links. Now you're trying to convert over for the week and really not get your ass tanned, but you know what I mean? It's like, it's hard to go outside the box. And I think right now what I'm seeing is the guys that have been dominant before, they're searching right now. Where these guys come out, or, for example, like Nick Stone. Nick Stone had, I think, 12 wins in our division last year. I'm not even really sure. He had a boatload of them. And then it's like the rules got adjusted a little bit. Everyone's trying to get the upper hand, and really it's R&D. And when you're in this division, it's kind of like, Melissa, like you and the crates. You listen to the big block guys or the small block guys and tell them what helps them and promotes drive and everything else. You kind of try to just blend it into your program, where we're watching the late model guys, like right front down, left rear up, you know what I mean? Like that style, where our cars usually we transferred weight, like right front to left rear. We didn't bury it on the right front and hold it up on the left rear and drive around the track. We never did. But I think it's more of a monkey see, monkey do, and I don't know how they're doing it.
That's always the fun part about racing, I guess, is seeing what the next guy's doing, and if he's outrunning you, you got to figure it out, and not only do you have to figure it out, you have to make it better. And I know you said just a minute ago, y'all don't lift, y'all turn, but you just talked about earlier also. You just got off the phone with Randy getting some brake parts and stuff. So apparently, there's a little bit of brakes used in this car, man. And we like to talk because Randy's a good buddy of ours and stuff. What does a good brake package that Randy will supply to you guys? What does it really do for the car?
Well, I'll be honest. I ran. I think they were Hawk black pads for forever. Our class everyone ran the same thing. And then Randy, he was actually from down south where you guys are. And then he found a girl up here, so he started coming up here an awful lot. And he kind of brought his brakes here. Now, when I ran modifieds, the big blocks, he came up here with PFC brakes, and them PFC brakes were the first of like that. Besides running the standard Bicknell or Willwood, it was PFC now. Randy actually put his first complete package on my big block car. And I was actually the first guy to win with a PFC package from Randy. Big blocks up here.
Sweet.
And then it kind of snowballed. Kenny Tremont, one of the big guns up here.
Yep.
He's seen his on mine. I had the PFC package, and Randy came over and made him an ultimatum, or not an ultimatum, but a deal. And they were on Kenny Tremont's car the following week. And Kenny went out there. It took him, I think, 2 weeks. And the first week, he said it was nothing to do with the brakes. Second week, he came out, and, man, now he's winning on them. So it was like, it was kind of cool to see, like, I was just, like I said, I think it was my third year in big blocks. I think I won 1 or 2 races, and Randy gave me the whole package. Man, it was kind of cool to actually be the first one to win with a full PFC package on.
I bet
but
so.
Now with the pro stocks, we're running like, there's so many different things now. It's like, it's very difficult. Like, not for nothing, guys. Like I say to you guys, we all run a 602 crate, right? Now, at the end of the day, who's running what spark plugs? There's 15 different types of them. We've all got a certain thing with niche with each one of them, where you like it or you don't.
That's right.
Now, we ran Hawk Blue or Hawk Black. There was one or the other. And everyone ran Hawk Blacks all around, so they stopped better. Now, Randy comes in here, and he's giving me brakes for cold bite, hot bite, low drag, like all this stuff. And like I said to him, I didn't really know too much about brakes till he came here. He spent probably 2 or 3 weekends with me. And with our cars, there's a lot of trail braking because they're so heavy. The 3,000-pound cars, 2950. So when we come in the corner, I have to slow down, but I also have to turn at the same time. When I was trail braking with all the same pad on the car just kind of washed the nose out because it just all worked together. And Randy really steered us in the right direction. And I'll be honest, I think that's my biggest, I guess, I don't even know what you'd call it. My biggest edge right now is braking. I'm not saying just because it's Randy, but I'm beating everyone getting in the corner because we put the time in on the brakes, having the high bite, the cold bite. Like, I didn't know any of this stuff. 91s, 13s. Randy rifles them off like we're all talking Lucky Charm cereal here.
Yeah, he does.
You got the Clover, you got the other. We all know that. I mean, I don't know nothing about the 5 different packages you just said. You know what I mean? At the end of the day,
I'd say brakes matter at certain tracks a lot more than other tracks. Like, it depends on the shape of the track. Like New Egypt, you need brakes. 100%.
To me, New Egypt's like a malt up here. It's like a 3/8 flat track, right?
I think it's I want to say it's more of a quarter.
Oh, it's even shorter.
Yeah, it's like a quarter. It's not even like a true half mile, really. It's smaller, and it's like
Lebanon Valley up here is 5/8 paperclip.
Yeah, so that's like the old Bridgeport.
Yeah, same difference. Like you said, you're on the brakes a boatload of Lebanon Valley, then you're on the gear to come off the corner, and you're back on the brakes. Where Malta, being a short track, it's more momentum, but you still need a little bit of brake. But the big tracks, the same thing, Melissa. You need it at the big track because I guess you're going a lot faster at the end of the day.
It's all about knowing how much to use. That's all.
There you go. That's exactly it. You talk about
knowing
that.
How far to go.
That's right. That's right. Me and Randy talked about this on the show, actually, even in the super late models. He was talking about Chris Madden one time. They put I forgot what he told me. He put like a load cell of some sort on the pedal. And Chris Madden never lets off the brake the entire way around the track. His foot rides on the brake. And obviously going in the corner, he uses just a little bit more. But he said he is one of the best on the brake pedal you will ever see. And it doesn't matter what size the track is either. I mean, that's kind of his thing. He knows exactly how much to use in the car. So yeah, you're right. You need to know how much of it to use.
And that's it. Like, absolutely. Like, when you trail brake, you're leaving the rear loaded still, I guess you'd say. It's under a load still. It's wrapped. Like our leaf springs, they're under a load, so they stay wrapped. When we let off the brake and the gas and the car squats down and lifts back up in the air, it takes a lot of time for the car to settle back down, meaning get the rear end wrapped back under you. It's
Right.
kind of like, Melissa, in the crates when you have the Sportsman there. Are you on bars or coils?
I'm on bars.
Bars. All right. So you know that when you lift and the car drops down, and when it comes back up, I really don't have nothing in the track because I just unloaded everything. Where with the brake and when I was talking to Randy, and like I said, when he was telling me about Madden, it was the same thing. It's funny you say that now because we sat there and I told him I'm on the brakes constantly. Well, when I said constantly, at first he's like, well, everyone is. No, I'm on them constantly. Even on the straightaway, I'm flat-footed going in the corner, and now I'm on the brakes twice as hard. Now when I'm coming off the corner, I still have quarter brake on. The car's, it's staying loaded, meaning I'm turning, it's driving, it's underneath me. There's so much with the brakes now that determine how good the car turns, because you use the brakes to turn the car. There's just a lot more to it. Like, and I think now, after I ran the big block modifieds, now I come back to the pro stocks. It's still the top level full fender up here, but I don't think these guys ever experienced it. They never felt it, never had anything there. They didn't have 5 different types of brakes to run. You know what I mean? And I think it definitely gave me a big advantage.
All right, all you pro stock guys, y'all just heard it. So them 10 wins, you be better like them because everybody just heard your secret.
That's it. Now, guess what? There's a long time that comes to perfect the trail.
There you go.
I'll be honest, I've been a dangerous man a lot of times coming off the corner wondering, what did I just do right there? Don't do it again.
I didn't like it.
I didn't like that at all.
Yeah. That's cool. That's good to hear. I mean, it's so, and I know people, us as fans, I guess you'll say, will sit in the stands watching a race, and that's what we see is cars just going around the corner. I mean, but there's so much into getting in any type car, getting that car around the corner, even if it's set up perfectly. It's still, you have to drive it certain ways to get around the corner, and the brake is part of that. Like we just said, no matter what style track.
Definitely. Like I said, even like gear, like a big thing up here is with our cars being so heavy, we like to run a lot of gear.
Right.
11 Nevada's got real long straightaways like Bridgeport, Melissa. So if you put a lot of gear in it, it's good when I'm in traffic and we're lifting for each other the first 5 laps. But once we get strung out a little bit and I want to run the guy down in front of me, I noticed to myself, like when I was coming down the backstretch, that's all I had. There's nothing I could do to do any better. Now, where do you gain on? You drive it in further, then you slide out more. You know what I mean? It's kind of like it's big risk, big rewards, meaning you drive in deep and hopefully the cushion holds you. But if it don't, now you lost 3 car lengths. And with everything with the brakes and everything nowadays, it's definitely evolved a lot more in every aspect, meaning like even our crew guys. Like I have a guy, Glenn, that's been working on race cars for 30, 40 years. My best friend, Tuggy, he works on it for the past 20 years with me as I race. Bobby Guile. I mean, these guys are long-term things, and a lot of it has to do with experience. Looking over to the guy and say, listen, I've driven before. I know what this does. Well, when I run a lot of stagger here, you're loose the whole way up. There's nothing that's going to save that. Where trail braking ain't going to save stagger as much as lead will. You know what I mean? Like, there's things you need to have on a team that makes it the best. Do you know what I mean, guys? It's hard to explain, I guess.
For sure.
I think at the end of the day, if either one of you were to strap in a car and you look over at someone that's never been in one before and they give you a thumbs up, you're like, yeah. You know what I mean? Or if you look over at your father or your uncle or your brother or sister, someone who's been there done it before, look over like, you got a good car. And they give you a thumbs up, it's a different thumbs up.
Exactly. For sure. Well, I got a question. This is completely off that subject. Actually,
I'm married.
Okay. Well, dang. Our buddy Randy sent this to me. He told me.
Was it my bonus from last week or no?
Yeah, he sent me yours. He said you didn't need it, so he sent it to me. No, we got another buddy who has moved on from pro stocks up there. He's now running asphalt. You probably know who I'm talking about. So he asked me to ask you about you and Rick Duzlak trying to become YouTube stars.
We were arguing about who's had better brake package on the car. Clearly, I thought I did.
Is that what it was?
That's why when I kicked him, I was like, that's the brake pedal. That one. That's the one you should put on the brake pedal. But no, definitely, yeah.
If everybody out there doesn't know, y'all have seen a video of this on Fox and everywhere else. So.
But boy, even like it's the drop kick. I think he called it.
There you go.
Definitely, guys. Now the fun's over. Got out of that. It's me, that guy.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Honestly, have you and Rick ever talked since then?
You want to know something? It's not even like I really minded Rick. He was all right. He was quick on some nights. Any given night he could win it. But no, I really had nothing more to say to him. Just I had enough. Like, I mean, every one of us, we'd all like take the higher road some nights, but right there was just the end. I guess that was it. I just couldn't tolerate it anymore. I mean, if you could take it back now, you probably wish you could, but it was just spur of the moment. I mean, kind of like when you get an interview after you wrecked and someone wrecked you. There's nothing good going to come out of it.
Kind of like a good Jack Hewitt, you know.
Exactly.
No, I know exactly what you mean. I just you know, you have been famous around many YouTube videos and even on NASCAR race days and stuff like that, and nobody's ever known who it is, so now they know who it is.
Yeah, thank you guys, thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, cool, man. Well, you said you headed up to Orange County this week, right?
Yeah, we're going up there. Like I said, we'll be there Thursday night with the Supers, and hopefully be able to put number 11 on the board for us.
I was fixing to say, how you feeling about it?
Good. I think, like I said, we don't usually run Orange County. Orange County was, they used to have Pro Sox like 10 years ago, but the class kind of weeded out of down there. Now it's, I don't know why we're going back, but we're going.
That's always a good one. I don't know why we're going, but we're going. That's good.
Put it up. Hopefully, be able to steal another one from the girls.
There you go.
And boy.
There you go. Oh, good deal, man. Well, who tell us? Give us everybody that's on your car. Everybody you want to thank for helping you out.
Definitely. Like I said, I got to thank Mike Slauson from Protect Tire and Auto. Mike Slauson Towing. He owns the whole show. Like I said, you can't ask for a better car owner. He lets the circus run rampant. RC Concrete, Mike Early, Preferred Group, Dave and Michelle Reifenberg, Keith Lizette Utilities, Henkel Trucking, Tower Generator, Emperor of the Mountain Diesel, Chris Eastwood Detailing. There's just so many guys that help us out, girls and stuff. And like I said, the crew, just even this, everything, guys. We've all done it. We know what it takes. It's definitely not a one-man band for sure. It's definitely a team aspect sport. So I got to thank all them guys. Like I said, without them, we definitely can't do any of it. But no, it's definitely been a pleasure to go out and drive for these guys and put a show on for all the fans. And like I said, I know earlier you said us as fans. I mean, but I'm a fan any given Sunday when we go to a racetrack and we watch one or we go somewhere. It's just the atmosphere, I think, that I like the most. I love the racing mentality, meaning like somebody's going to win today. Somebody's going to win. It's not going to be a draw. And I love every part of it because I know the hard work and dedication that everyone puts into it. And it does show at the end of the day, guys. Like I said, if you work in your car every week, like I wash my car every Sunday. When I wash it, they're like Why do you wash your own car? I look at every bolt. When I spray it and clean it, I just check my shop. I check the certain things, and I do my own tires. Other than that, I don't care who changes the oil. I'm worried about the bolts falling off this thing because at the end of the day, let's be honest, we're all out of control.
That's right. That's right.
We are. We're all out of control. And when we get touched, I didn't need any help, guys. Trust me. I didn't need any help. I put it. But definitely, thank you guys so much for this. Like I said, great time, good laughs. I'll definitely, hopefully, be able to be back on here after soon enough.
Oh yeah, once you go out there and win the rest of them this year, we can get on here and dog everybody else for being so bad, other than you.
That's it. Well, can't wait to see you. Make sure you find me come Thursday night.
I will.
Oh, well, good deal, buddy. Well, you just, one more question before you go, just for fan aspect. You said you could be at any racetrack any given Sunday or Saturday or whatever else. If you're not racing, what's your favorite class to watch?
I'll be honest. Like I said, there's so many things. Like I love the super late models, probably because it's just the speed and everything. Like sprint cars are awesome because they're fast. The problem is, I don't know if I just don't have any tracks around here that are good to watch, but they're never door to door. They're single file. They're 20 car lengths apart. Where when I went to watch these supers, like they ran at Lebanon Valley before, they're side by side. I like to watch anything that's side by side. And up here, it's your full fendered classes that are going to do it. So for me, I would say the headline full fender division anywhere we go. Meaning, like, you go to an asphalt track, I want to see the late model guys door to door.
There you go.
The asphalt modifieds, they kind of don't do it. Like Bowman Gray, like they have good excitement because they're hidden, but to actually be able to cheer a race on for a while, I think it needs to be full fendered. So I would have to say the super late models. I mean, they're hands down, to me, the best. Like, the guys have everything you possibly need. It takes a lot more than a sprint car being just full throttle. As far as I know, I've never driven a sprint car, but I watch these guys and I watch their foot pedals. It seems like they're hammered down. That's it.
Oh yeah.
Where watch a Madden or you watch Bloomquist, these guys, Timmy McCready, they're creeping the bottom. They're rim riding the place. They're all over the pedals, like every which way on the wheel. They get out of these things and they're like just wore out. Like I see why. I get it. You're trying to take a 3,000-pound car. They're probably what, 2,500-pound cars.
23
and they're
normally.
Yeah. Yeah, they're trying to manhandle them. Where sprint car guy, you just need to. I think we all know you just need to get. That's it.
Some testicular fortitude.
Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, you take them guys that are just, they're in a league of their own. They really are. To go out there and run the sprint cars like they do, whew, God bless them. I'd rather watch than drive it, I can tell you that. Because it's like, it's definitely each their own, I guess you'd have to say.
For sure.
Yeah, seriously.
We'll go into Orange County this week. I know you're going to be racing too, but I know you're going to be checking out them super late models. So who's your favorite to win the supers up there?
Well, I'll be honest with you, I'm going to go with my buddy Dave Reifenberg on this one. I'm going to root for Kyle Strickler. I hope that the high side tickler takes it. He's got it. I like Madden. I like them all. Like I said, they're all a great bunch of guys, and you get to hang out and talk to them. And
oh yeah,
I'm going to put it on Strickler this week. I think he can get it done.
Go with our Team SRI buddy there. So
the Bulldog? It's not the Bulldog.
There you go. Well, good deal, man. Well, we appreciate you coming on here, and it has been a lot of fun. And like you said, we're definitely going to have to do it again.
All right, buddy. Thank you, bud. Thank you.
All right, man. Well, have a good one, and best of luck this week.
All right. You guys too. Enjoy. Good luck, Melissa, too.
Good luck. You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah, we appreciate Chad Jeseo coming on here and hanging out with us tonight. That was pretty cool. And thank our buddy Randy King for setting that up, lining that up for us. And y'all heard him talk about Randy with our Team SRI drivers there. Randy, y'all hear how Chad talked about him. Randy's up there helping those guys every week. I think he's on the way up there this week, ain't he?
Yeah, he is.
So he'll be on the way up north to help them guys out some more. And speaking Team SRI, I want to go ahead and talk about SRI Performance, guys. As we say on here every week, SRI Performance is your one-stop shop for all things racing. Be sure to get by there. Literally pick up anything you need. I know you've been in there, Melissa. Did they have a little bit of everything in there?
They have a lot of everything in there.
Exactly. I mean, anything from brand new parts to all more used parts than you could ever believe. Yeah. Their used parts side is insane to me, and a lot of that stuff, especially asphalt guys, there was more carbon fiber in there than I've ever seen in one place in my life. And what it is it's all stuff off of from NASCAR teams. Them guys just use it one race, and then it goes to SRI. And anybody out there can buy it. I found dashes in there with gauges and everything, and I was like, man, I need to come back up here and buy this for my car. It's insane. The brake packages they got up there on the shelf that have been used one race is absolutely crazy. Seats, you'll see seats go through their rear ends. Guys, literally anything you need for a race car, or if you're building some kind of crazy street car, you could incorporate it in there. I mean, anything you guys need, go check out SRI Performance. Go to sriperformance.com. Get your cart all filled up there. Get you as much in it as you can and everything you need. And at time of checkout, be sure to use promo code CBONE10. That's C as in chicken. BONE10. Get you 10% off there at time of checkout. Same deal over at Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. Guys, all the raw materials you could think of. Also, all the panels you will need to put together a race car, make it look real nice and pretty. Melissa, if you're going to build a race car right now, what color is it going to be?
Ooh, I'll probably go back to pink. Pink and black.
Go figure.
It's bright. You see it.
You can definitely see it. I will say that. You put a pink.
I do like the blue though, with that like that highlighter yellow and white. Like, I like that car.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I guess that's kind of why I've always like
anything with highlighter stuff.
There you go. And one of the drivers, as always, he's kind of been on that bandwagon too. I've always liked Kyle Strickler's look. How he uses black, but then he'll use the blue and the highlighter yellow in there too. That makes really pop on the track for sure. So guys,
I guess with the black it does.
Yeah, it does. It seems to. So guys, head over to Stock Car Steel. Get all the metalwork that you need to make your car look good. Build you a new one. Hey, it is time. If you want a new one for next year, it's time to start putting it together. It's going to be here before you know it. Christmas right around the corner. I mean, that's what I keep saying anyway. Just gives me a reason to listen to Christmas music. You don't like Christmas music, Melissa?
I do. It's all right.
All right. Well, I'm one of them that as soon as July 4th's over with, I'm like, Christmas music. Here we go.
No.
Love it. Yeah. Half the year's over. I'm closer to Christmas than I was I'm closer to this Christmas than I am last Christmas.
I like to listen to it after Thanksgiving.
What? No.
Yeah.
No. I can listen to Christmas music while I eat turkey. I'm good to go.
Oh my God. I don't even like that they already have pumpkin stuff out this early.
So
they asked me if I wanted a pumpkin iced coffee like last week, and I'm like, it's 97 degrees and it's August. Like, no, I don't want pumpkin.
So are you a pumpkin spice fan though?
Yes, I am.
So you're saying you're that basic white girl, eh?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I get caramel the rest of the year. I get caramel, but pumpkin. I like pumpkin like September, October, November, and then I switch off and on.
Depends. I guess I don't have a
I actually don't like pumpkin pie though.
What?
Fun fact. I don't, but I love like pumpkin muffins and like stuff like that.
See-
I just don't like pumpkin pie.
See, y'all can
I
have.
would rather get apple.
Well, I can't argue with that necessarily. But see, I would rather have pumpkin pie than any of that pumpkin spice junk. And I'm also one that I don't care what time of year it is. I like any flavor, which I guess is my downfall. I guess I don't know. Oh, so. But
See,
anyway,
I would love if McDonald's had their Shamrock Shake all year round.
oh yeah, I can definitely agree there.
I could live with
That
that.
thing is good. That thing is really good. I love that thing. That's just like a cookout. Y'all have any cookouts over there?
Yeah. Barbecues, picnics.
No.
cookout?
The restaurant cookout.
Oh, no, we don't have that. No.
Y'all don't have that. Okay. Well, it's burgers and shakes and barbecue sandwiches and stuff like that. We have them down here down south. But anyway, they have a watermelon milkshake, but they only have it in
What?
July, and I missed it this year because I didn't go buy a cookout, and I was like, I'm sad because that thing is good.
I wouldn't even I don't know if I would try that. Watermelon
What?
and ice cream? Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
I would think of it like maybe like a Slurpee, but not like with ice. I don't know.
No, it is good because it's got like real pieces of
Okay.
watermelon. It's not like because to me, watermelon and watermelon flavored stuff do not taste the same. It's like
Yeah,
strawberry
true.
and strawberry flavored stuff do not taste the same. And I don't know. I guess if you I like really cold watermelon anyway, and that's what this tastes like. So when you come down south and find a
I'll have to
cookout,
try it in July.
yeah, just make sure you come down in
Next
July
time.
because you can't get it any other time, which sucks. Cookout, if you're listening. Somebody tag them, tell them bring the watermelon shake year round. Just saying. So anyway, guys, as we were saying, go make your cars look good over at Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. Get all the supplies you need at SRI Performance and build you a nice, pretty race car. Appreciate them all the time. Oh, anyway, guys, there was the North-South Shootout this past week at over there at Florence Speedway. To no one's surprise, Brandon Overton wins it. That dude's
He's
on
taking it all.
I'm telling you, other than the big stuff, Prairie Dirt Classic, he didn't win that, but he was right there. This dude's winning everything this year. I mean, a lot of people talking about Kyle Larson and all the stuff he's winning, and yes, that is impressive. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But I'm gonna tell you, Brandon Overton and what he has accomplished in a dirt late model is pretty crazy here this year with the amount of money he has won.
Yeah.
It's tough to top that. So but Josh Rice, he was right there. Man, he was running. He was fast. Looked good out there. And our buddy that was on here a couple weeks ago, James Rice, Josh's brother. I think we talked about that. He didn't quite make it in, but man, it looked good. It looked really good. That Earl Raimi racing engine was looking strong. So yeah, there's our North-South recap. Knoxville Nationals. I know we don't ever talk much sprint car stuff on here, but Young Money, Kyle Larson went out there and showed them how to get it done. Did you watch any of that, Melissa?
I didn't watch, but he just kills it in everything he gets in. So,
Dude, it's insane.
it's insane.
It's crazy. I mean, I told him, the different disciplines of cars that he gets in and runs up front is crazy to me. I'm just saying it's not going to surprise me. He come down here to Darlington and win just because of the big marquee races that he's winning this year. I feel like he's probably going to come win the Southern 500, which is kind of a big one in NASCAR. Then I think all he'll have left to win big, well, obviously championship, but that's not a typical, race at one place. But Daytona 500, that'll be his next one. And he will say he's won pretty much every marquee event between NASCAR and dirt racing, between late models and the sprint car, other than say the World 100 or the Dream or something like that. So you still got those to go, but it's crazy.
Yeah.
How
He's like, it's insane. I don't know how he does it, to be honest. Like, he just literally will get in a car as long as it's good, and he just freaking kills it. Wins.
I don't think the car has to be good. I think he just makes it better. Because me and Sterling was talking about this one time. People was like, "Oh,
well, he's not getting in a hunk of shit."
No. He's not. No. I'm not saying that. Not saying that at all. But what I am saying is, people are like, "Oh, well, look at the equipment he's in. It's better." Do not take me wrong. Kevin Rumley is one of the smartest people in super late model racing. Period. But I will say this: Kevin Rumley also, a lot of people may not realize this. Kevin Rumley helps Tim McCready a lot on the dirt side. They got a big thing with Bilstein shocks, so they help them a lot. Motor wise, they got the same thing other guys are getting. So Kyle Larson, when he goes out there and wins in a super late model, to me, he's winning with very similar equipment. So that's what makes it impressive to me, is, not having the time that these guys have had in a super late model. Granted, yes, he has raced forever, but not having time in a super late model that these guys have had, and going out there and doing what he's doing is insanely impressive, regardless of the quality of equipment that he has.
100%, because he's just that talented. I mean, I'm sure, I know everybody always call it the PA posse, and up here in the north with the sprint cars, and I'm sure they get pissed off because I'm sure every league, I think a lot of people think it's really cool, but I'm sure a lot of the drivers, like, they think he's talented and think he's cool, but then they're also like, can you stay the heck away from us? Like, exactly. We want to win some money too,
Exactly.
And I'm sure, but it's like, he's so talented. Like, you just want to watch him, though.
Oh yeah, you want to watch him, and as a driver, yes, I completely understand that way of thinking. Stay away from here so we can win too. But at the same time, I know when I was racing, you wanted to beat that guy that was supposedly so good. So at the same time, you kind of want him to come there and be like, I'd love to outrun him, because if I can outrun him, everybody's going to say, hey, you just outrun Kyle Larson. Not going to happen very often, but if you do it, that puts your name well up there.
Exactly. There's not many people that can, I think, in general. Like, I think there's only a few people that actually really could beat him in general in sprint cars anyway, unless he wrecks out.
Right.
I mean, like, Christopher Bell is just as talented.
Oh yes.
Like, I mean, if he had more, I mean, obviously Kyle's a little older, I think, not by much, but a little bit older than Chris. But he even said that Christopher Bell, he thinks, is better than him or something. And I'm like, what?
Well, have you been paying attention any to the feud they've had going on this past week?
Oh, I know, but this is like a year or two ago he said that. But
I know
they've been having a feud for a while.
Well, I don't get it. I don't. He talked about, what was said after Watkins Glen, and I don't know if you watched it, but in my opinion, Christopher Bell did not give him any room at all going through that corner and made him lock it up, almost hit the grass, and then when he did, Christopher Bell spun. I don't know. I'm not a conspiracy theorist per se, but I'm like, these dudes were typically friends. I mean, they were, I guess. And now all of a sudden, Larson comes on there and he's like, "Oh, I tried to or I text him. He won't even text me back." Well, that's kind of out of character for Kyle to even come on a radio show and say. And then Christopher Bell jumps on TV and he's like, well, "I think it's pretty childish of him to even, put our stuff out there like that, and I don't think I have to call him." And I'm like, "Wow, that's completely out of character for both them guys." So either they pull more emotion out of each other than anybody else does, or they're like, "Hey, let's start this. We can make some money off of it." I don't know.
I don't feel like it's just an act. I think they're probably just really upset with one another for whatever reason. And, sometimes those relationships, they'll be fine eventually, but sometimes you just gotta be mad for a while, I guess.
Oh yeah. or either chili ball or the chili ball's gonna get real exciting. One of the two.
Oh yeah, that will be real exciting.
Who knows? I know you typically don't watch much NASCAR, but you happen to catch any of the I don't know what you got, the circus from Indy this week?
I saw highlights. I didn't watch it. I was outside all day yesterday. I got sunburned. I was, washing a camper, watching a truck, watching a race car, and so I watched a lot of shit. I was out there from 11 till like 9 o'clock or 10 at night. So,
jeez. Well,
I was out there all day.
Well, just to let you know,
I did watch highlights of the wreck and of a lot of the wreck, and it was kind of crazy. The stripping was coming off, right?
Yeah,
whatever you want to call it. I don't even know.
I guess you call it a curb. I guess we'll call it.
Okay.
Rumble strip, something like that. I don't know. That was a circus. That was a complete. It was terrible because it took out literally probably 5 or 6 cars that could have won that race. And that came up. And then what I will say was probably worse in this race, the final restart, Denny Hamlin goes down in turn 1. Chase Briscoe is on his outside. Denny Hamlin just kind of runs it straight and pushes Briscoe through the grass. And Briscoe goes through the grass, comes back on the track. I don't know if he gave Hamlin the spot back regardless. Hamlin kind of come up around him anyway. But they black flag Chase Briscoe for that. I'm like, he got forced off of there. Why would you black flag him for that? And they told him he had to come to a stop. Well, I mean, you're literally on the last 2 laps of the race, so, I mean, what good is that going to do you? It ain't going to make no difference at that point. You're just going to the back. But anyway, Briscoe ends up getting into the back of Hamlin, spins him. A lot of people said it was on purpose. If you listen to the in-car camera, Briscoe was off the gas when he hit Hamlin and stayed off the gas till Hamlin spun all the way around. So I don't know that it was on purpose. Which Denny Hamlin said, I don't think it was on purpose. He even said that he was just didn't understand why he was racing him when he was already black flagged. But Briscoe said his crew never told him he was black flagged. So who knows? But it was a wild finish that AJ Allmendinger ended up winning in one of his just couple starts in Cup Series this year, and it's been road courses only. So it was wild. I will probably say, I mean, watching the last couple laps, it was probably better than watching the whole race. So, but isn't that typical with a NASCAR race anymore? I don't know. So, all right. What what else what's coming up this weekend?
You got hold on. We got a lot of stuff, I think, coming up, but we have the Topless 100 at Batesville, the 19th through 21st. That's the Lucas Oil.
Cool.
And then you got the World of Outlaws, late models, Orange County, Williams Grove, Sharon Speedway, and Erie Speedway.
Cool.
This weekend.
Good stuff.
So, I mean, those are two big stuff coming up. Anything down by you? I'm sure
Um,
just weekly.
I was fixing just weekly stuff right now. Nothing big. I know Florence Motor Speedway over here. They only got 2 shows left. Lakeview, I think they're off this weekend. I can't remember. And then they got a show coming up after that. I will say I went over to Lakeview this past weekend, as I told y'all, went and hung out with Willie Milliken over there. More than anything, put a camera on his car. I'm gonna have footage up. Put a camera again on David Baker's car. I'm gonna put that up. If y'all haven't yet, check out David Baker every week. Well, about every week, pretty much. And when they race, on him and Chuck over there, Chuck DFPV on YouTube. Go check them out. See some cool stuff. Finally got some footage from over there this week, because last week went over there and it was really weird. It was like sticky sand, so it just stuck to everything as it flew up. It's the oddest thing ever. I've never seen mud be this fine. It was weird. So got some good footage from over there this week. Also got some on let's see. Got some in street stock race stuff. We'll have all that up this week, hopefully, on our Facebook page and everything else on YouTube and all that stuff. So y'all go check that out. But yeah, this week pretty much just weekly, same old around here. So we'll see if I end up anywhere.
Sounds good.
Maybe not. Who knows? I might end up at home.
I guess just that our listeners will just have to follow along and see where we're at.
Exactly. Check out our Facebook for sure. There'll probably be some lives coming up. I know you going to a few tracks, aren't you?
Yep, this weekend.
Yep. So
I'll be heading there.
You'll be headed track. We know you'll be live on Facebook. Some, and if I'm anywhere, I may be. Who knows? Never know. But anyway, y'all wish Sterling also a happy birthday this week. His birthday is August 20th.
Oh, happy birthday.
He'll be 35. He's catching up with me. I'll always be a couple months older than him, I guess. Oh, but anyway. Well, cool. As always, guys, we would like to thank SRI Performance, Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, our buddy Randy Keene, RK Motorsports Consulting, Earl Raimi Racing Engines. Y'all check Earl out for all your engine needs. You will not be disappointed. Our Ford Bite Apparel update of the week. Old Choo Choo Cole Train Vanderheiden, second start in the A-Class Unrestricted. He went out there and won in his micro sprint there. In his second start in the unrestricted class. Finished second his first start and has won his second start in it. That boy just needs to go faster to win. I mean, he's won. I'm assuming, and it seems like every time he moves up a class, he does better and better. It's like the faster the car is, the better he is at it. So, congratulations to them. Guys, if you want to start, like we said, that Christmas shopping, or just want you some cool dirt track gear, or any track, really, head over to Ford Bite Apparel. Go check them out. Get you some cool-looking swag, we'll say. And go check it out. Also, Checkered, the race hub. Go check out some racing social media. We ain't worried about politics on there. We ain't worried about Aunt Betty's cat. We ain't worried about none of that. We're talking racing on Checkered. So y'all go check that out. Also, guys, be sure, as we said earlier, check out Soak Tires Broadcasting, the Chicken Bone Alley Summer Shootout. Round 3 be on, well, it'll be tonight when you hear it, Tuesday. Y'all come check us out, 8 o'clock. That's all I got. You got anything, Melissa?
I think that's it.
Well, I appreciate you coming on here this week, hanging out with us in Sterling's absence while he's working.
Well, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Not a problem. We appreciate you coming, hanging out with me for a while here, and we'll probably do it again soon.
Sounds good.
All right, guys, y'all have a good one. We'll be talking with you later.